Good morning, everyone. It's Sir Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday so far. It's early days for me. It's only 10 o'clock today. A very, very early start for me today, guys. Of course, I'm a busy guy. You know what I mean? A busy guy. So, you know what? It is an early start. So I hope you guys don't mind. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Really appreciate everyone. Please, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Now, let's get straight into some of your comments. Big up, GK. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're good. United working on the Tel deal. Yes, let's get straight into that, guys. In regards to Mathys Tel. Mathys Tel has rejected the opportunity to sign for Tottenham Hotspur. Who would want to sign for Tottenham Hotspur anyway? I mean, I would rather play for, Exeter City than Tottenham Hotspur. You're just going to ruin your career going there. I don't know. I think going to Tottenham Hotspur is a bit like walking into a black hole. That's what it's like. You just walk into that black hole and you disappear forever. That's what happens when you play for a team like Tottenham, because Tottenham don't win trophies. One trophy in 30 years, something like that. And even that was a Mickey Mouse trophy at the end of the day. So, why would you want to go to Tottenham? I don't understand that, guys. Absolutely don't. It baffles belief. I cannot fathom. But Mathys Tel is interested in only going to Manchester United. It's up to Manchester United to make the deal possible. Manchester United need to get a move on if they want to get Mathys Tel through the door. Of course, Manchester United do still need to offload a couple of players. Marcus Rashford is still at the football club. I don't know why, but he is still here doing his thing, of course, guys, and unfortunately, he doesn't want to leave the football club by the look of things. He's waiting for Barcelona, but Barcelona look like they've pulled out of the deal, unfortunately. I mean, come on. Do you know what I mean? Come on, Marcus. Give us a break. Cut us some slack. Go somewhere. For goodness sake, just go somewhere, anywhere. I don't mind Leighton Orient. Go somewhere, mate, because at the end of the day, what I'm talking about is that, if you want to rekindle your career and reignite your career, you go to another football club to score some goals. Unfortunately, it seems to me that Marcus Rashford is not concentrating on football at the moment and just wants to stay in Manchester with the boys. That's what he wants to do, and go out on a Saturday night. That's what he wants to do. I think he's really lost a passion for football, because if it was me, even though I was playing for my boyhood club, at the end of the day, even if it was me, I would leave, because I need to get first in football, get in the England team for the World Cup, of course. That's what I'll be concentrating on. But unfortunately, it's not for him, of course, guys. So big up, Conrad. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Thank you for your great work. Thank you for coming, Conrad John Kennedy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Rasta. This is very early for you, Sal. Absolute. Well, 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's early. It is an early one for me. 1 hour earlier, Rasta. Yeah, I come on earlier today because I've got a couple of things to do at 11 o'clock, which is my time, 11 o'clock. So great to have you on board, Rasta. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you well, bro. Hope life is treating you well. Big up, Barman. What's going on? Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Big up the channel. 2 days left in the transfer. Abdullah, can you foresee yourself any deals happening? Oh, it's getting a little bit treacherous, isn't it? It's getting a little bit shaky now, isn't it? Man United are not doing anything. It seems like deadlock. Now, in regards to Dorgu, of course, guys, he has been on his way to Manchester. He will do his medical and sign the papers on Sunday. It does look like that. And probably be presented to the Manchester United faithful before the Crystal Palace game, which means he won't be ready for Palace game. He had to sign yesterday to be ready for the Palace game. It looks like the next game will be Ipswich Town in the Premier League for Dorgu. I believe we're playing Ipswich Town. It will be Ipswich Town for Dorgu to make his Premier League debut, hopefully. I don't think they're going to chuck him straight in. This is the thing. I do believe that he will be gradually bedded into the team, because obviously we don't want to throw him into the deep end, so to speak. Big up, Barman. Yes, really tired of Rashford, cat and mouse. I'm tired, Barman. Me too. I'm fed up with it. Just leave the bloody football club. Leave us alone. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm tired of his negativity, because everything that comes out my mouth, I want to say something positive. I want to say something positive about Rashford. I want to talk about Rashford in a glowing light, but I can't, because unfortunately, he's one of the prime reasons that the toxicity exists. And you know what? I've been saying that for years, that, isn't it a coincidence that as soon as Rashford steps aside, there's no more team leaks? What's going on there? Is that a coincidence? I don't know. At the end of the day, it's crazy, isn't it? Rashford wants to be one of the one of the man them. Absolutely. Big Abdullah. Watch only Rashford leave or not. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, Luke Shaw needs to be hold the bench. Luke Shaw does need to hold the bench, Rasta. He does. We shouldn't be, bowing down to Luke Shaw at the end of the day. Luke Shaw is feigning injury. Look, guys, I don't want to say anything sinister in regards to that, but I do believe that Luke Shaw is feigning injury. I don't believe he's actually injured, guys. I don't, because you cannot all of a sudden miraculously for the upteenth time become fit when Man United signed him. But do you remember when we signed Tyrone Malacia? And none of us really knew much about Tyrone Malacia. And then Luke Shaw miraculously became fit again, then he sort of measured Tyrone Malacia to see how good Tyrone Malacia is. And then he realized Tyrone Malacia isn't that good. So he thought, I'm fine. I'm going to be injured again. You know what I mean? And that's what he does. And that's what he's going to do with Dorgu. He's going to watch over Dorgu, see how Dorgu does. If he's not as good as people expect, he's going to injured again. I don't need to worry. But if Dorgu sets the house on fire, you know what? It's Diego Leon and Dorgu next season. It's nothing to do with Luke Shaw and Tyrone Malacia. It does look like Tyrone Malacia may be leaving the football club. Of course, as if Dorgu goes through nicely, it does look like he'd be leaving the football club on loan. In regards to Luke Shaw, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of Luke Shaw because obviously his wages, number one, and he's injury prone. And, teams will be absolutely crazy to go after Luke Shaw. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Pearl, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Have a great weekend. You too, Pearl. Hope it is a great weekend. It depends on Man United, of course. Man United play Crystal Palace tomorrow. We need to give Crystal Palace a good hiding, guys. A good hiding means it's one of those, right? We need to give Palace a good hiding because you know what? They've been a bit of our bogey team recently, over the last few years. They've been a bit of our bogey team. So we really need to get Palace to the sword, put them to the sword and beat them tomorrow. You know what? We won the game in midweek. Of course, that was fantastic that we won the game, of course, guys, away in Bucharest. But you know what? The biggest test is on Sunday because we haven't been playing well at Old Trafford for whatever reason it is. We haven't been playing well at Old Trafford. And that is kind of worrying because, you know what? Old Trafford used to be a fortress. I do want to make Old Trafford a fortress again. And how do we do that? Well, it depends on Manchester United faithful first. The Man United fans have to be intimidating, have to be no holds bars, cheering, shouting, screaming, whatever, to make that crowd as noisy as possible. And Man United need to start the game with all guns blazing, with basically pressing from the beginning, not giving Crystal Palace a chance to settle into the game. And that's what we used to do. We give teams too much leeway. Let them settle into the game. Big up Fanatic 8. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're good, bro. Hope you're good. Conrad, yes, some players fake injuries like this. I don't believe in his injury. I don't believe in his injuries. It would be a big coincidence, wasn't it? How many times has he made himself fit for England? I mean, he's done it in the World Cup and he's done it in the European Championships. He's done it twice now. For Man United, no. Look at how many finals Luke Shaw has played for England and look how many finals he's played for Man United. And then that tells you everything, isn't it? Over the last 5 years, to 8 years. It's crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? And we can't be falling for that nonsense anymore. We need to be a bit more ruthless. And this is the culture of the football club that needs to change. Now, what part of the culture of the football club that changing is a fact is getting rid of Marcus Rashford. Because you know what? Players are too comfortable here, thinking that they own the club, thinking that they are bigger than the club. Listen, you know what? It's not his fault that we kept giving these players contracts, and that is the thing. We kept giving these contracts. They have one good season, throw money at them, and then they have, you know what? That's it. I'm good for another 5 years. I'm going to down tool a little bit. We need to stop giving out these contracts now. This is over. This whole thing needs to be gone. This whole mentality needs to be gone. Contracts should only be given out on the basis of achievements and, a prolonged period of performances. Because, Marcus Rashford, he's won every 3 seasons. And it's getting less now. And we need to move on from that. You know what? Aston Villa are interested in Marcus Rashford. I think it would be a fabulous move for Marcus Rashford if he went to Aston Villa. You know what? I didn't want him to sign for a Premier League club. But at the moment, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. I would like him to go to Aston Villa or anyone, to be honest with you, because I just want that disruption at the club, just like I want Mason Mount, just like I want Luke Shaw to be at the club, because you know what? Those players represent everything that has been wrong with us over the last few years. And for us to progress and bring in the new players, you know what? That's what we need to do, of course, guys. We need to get rid of the players who have a lazy mentality, of course, guys. Rasta, We need to beat Crystal Palace and go a three-point lane and win. Absolutely. Look, Man United, of course, have some difficult games coming up. We do have Ipswich, which is a game that really and truly Man United should be winning. If we're being totally honest with ourselves, Man United should be winning against Ipswich Town at the end of the day. I'm going to look at Man United's fixture list, to be honest with you, because Man United's fixture list is it is getting better. So let me have a look at this fixture list for you. So I just want to get Man United's fixture list up. Here we go. Right. Football. I want to see what our games are. So Man United will be playing. Let me get this up. We're always playing on late. We're always playing latest, ain't we? All the way. There we go. Right. So fixed scores and fixtures. So Man United. We've got February. We've got next game. We've got Crystal Palace, and then after Crystal Palace, Manchester United have Tottenham. Yes, you're correct, Rasta. We got Tottenham. That's going to be the most difficult game in the next few. Tottenham Hotspur, and you know Tottenham Hotspur always turn up against Manchester United, don't they? For some reason, they say. And then we got Everton away, should be winning. Then we got Ipswich, I believe it is something like that. Yes. Then we got Ipswich Town. Yeah, on the 26th of February. So you know what we got Tottenham and Everton away is quite tricky, of course. Big up. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? I hope you doing well. Luke Shaw needs to go. I agree. Ugo Will. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. Yeah, I absolutely agree. He needs to go. He needs to go. I'm fed up with carrying these. We're not A&E. We're not, a mental department. We're not a psychiatric unit. What we are is a football club. And to be honest with you, we're acting like something else if we keep these players, just sitting on the bench. The great thing about Ruben Amorim, as I said a number of times, is that what he does. When you're injured, you get the weekends free. But what Ruben Amorim does, he takes the injured players to the games so they don't get the weekend free. And that's what I like, what Ruben Amorim does. I really like that, of course. His strictness, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, let's get into some transfer news, guys. Naipan, Sphere Naipan. We all know about Sphere Naipan. Manchester United, been on Manchester United's radar for quite a while now. The Rosenborg player, of course, one of the top prospects in Europe. Looked likely to be going to Arsenal, but that is not a foregone conclusion. Sphere Naipan appears to be waiting for Manchester United to make a move. Look, I'm a big fan of Sphere Naipan. I've seen him play. He's brilliant. He'd be fantastic, especially in that Ruben Amorim system. But Manchester United still have a chance to sign Sphere Naipan. And Sphere Naipan wants to come to Manchester United. He is a Manchester United fan, and he is waiting on Manchester United before making a decision about his future. Now, look, Arsenal are heavily involved in this deal, so I won't count my chickens. But the fact that he hasn't signed for Arsenal yet, and he hasn't made a commitment on his future, does open the door for Manchester United to sign Sphere Naipan. So, you know what? That'd be fantastic. You're looking at the age of Manchester United's team right now, and you look at what we're building right now, guys, and you cannot help but be excited, guys. You cannot help but be excited about the fact that Man United, who we're signing at the moment. Look, we've got Quenda could be coming into the football club in the summer. He's only 17. Obi Martin, 17. Shea Lacey, 17. Kokonki, 17. Diego Leon, 17. Jack and Tyler Fletcher, 17. Aiden Heaven, 18. Sekou Kone, 18. Lenny Yoro, 19. Mainu, 19. Garnacho, 20. Dorgu, 20. Collier, 21. Now, if that doesn't fill you with excitement, and imagine we add the likes of Quenda and Sphere Naipan onto that list, you know what? You cannot help but be enthusiastic about the future and excited about the future, what's going on at Man United at the moment. But the problem at Man United they're having at the moment is a bit trying to get the residue off a bath. It's trying to get rid of the old lot. And that is the problem. They're on astronomical wages. The other teams, we can't just sell them because their wages are a stumbling block. So, for example, if Marcus Rashford is on 350 grand a week, he's going to say, why should I leave? I'm contracted until 2027. Why should I leave? I'm staying where I am. I don't need to leave. I'll sit on my wage. And that's the problem that we're having at the moment. In the past, you know what? Players cared more about playing football and earning trophies and winning things. But these days, obviously, they're not too bothered about that. And in particular, Marcus Rashford is not too bothered about that. The same as Luke Shaw, the same as Mason Mount. We're creating a culture at our football club where they feel it's okay to sit on their backside and do nothing for many years and wait for their testimonial. Because look at Luke Shaw. He's due a testimonial. Luke Shaw is due a testimonial. Phil Jones had a testimonial. You know what I mean? And this is the whole problem that we're having, a cultural problem. Testimonials should be reserved for great pros. You know what I mean? Players who've been there for many, many years, of course. It's crazy. Absolutely. Let's read this out. Mayans, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Manchester United supposed to sign Dorgu. He's a good striker. I love him, but Manchester United fan needs him. I agree, Mayans. He's a fantastic player. Apparently, Manchester United have a gentleman's agreement with Gutierrez, of course, between Sporting Lisbon and Ruben Amorim. I'm going to believe that when I see it, but I'm hearing from reliable sources that Manchester United have a gentleman's agreement with Gutierrez. Gutierrez is obviously wanted by a number of clubs. Arsenal, again, want Gutierrez, of course. But we have to wait and see what happens in regards to that. Man United, I believe, have the advantage because of Ruben Amorim, just like we have the advantage with Quenda. Now, I do believe, and I said it a couple of shows ago, before it was reported by Ilmstein, that Man United are going to bring in Quenda, right? So Man United will bring in Quenda, and don't be surprised if Man United bring one or two more from Sporting Lisbon, because it is said that Ruben Amorim wants to bring in a couple of these players to the club. Now, that is understandable. You know, I mean, I'm not saying sign 6, 7, 8 of those players, but it's understandable that Ruben Amorim will want some of his players at the club, you know, because he trusts those players. A lot of the players at Manchester United will leave. A lot of the players won't fit his system. And, you know, as I said, the bad apples will fall from the tree. Or sometimes just the apple doesn't fit the tree. And you know what? This is the problem. You know, they just don't fit the formation. They don't fit the tactics, you know, and we need players who are going to fit the tactics. This is why I said, and I've thrown myself out on a limb here. I said that Man United will challenge for the title next season because I believe I've seen some things that I think, you know what, are promising. And I feel like if Ruben Amorim had his team, had his players, I really do think Man United have a brilliant future ahead of it. Of course, there's Diamande as well. Diamande's Sporting Lisbon centre-back has been linked with Manchester United as well. Don't be surprised. And Ignacio still hasn't signed for another football club. Ignacio is another one that is on Ruben Amorim's list. So don't be surprised if Man United do Sporting Lisbon shopping in the summer, of course. But right now, this transfer window, we have one player in, which is Dorgu. Hopefully, he's going to do his medical. I won't worry too much about the medical. Of course, we passed Raphael Varane and Mason Mount. So at the end of the day, you can go into the medical with one leg. They'll still pass your medical at the end of the day at Manchester United because that shows how incompetent our medical department is at the end of the day. That needs to change as well, of course. But you know what? I do believe Man United will bring in Dorgu. And hopefully, with the news about Tel not agreeing to Tottenham Hotspur, that opens the door for Manchester United. I do believe that Mathys Tel is waiting for Manchester United. I do feel that. And it would be a great move for him. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure about the stipulations in regards to the Europa League and the Champions League, because apparently I'm not sure if you play in the Champions League, you'll miss the Europa League games because you're cup tied. But you know what? I'm going to have to find out about that one. I don't know if if they are directly linked exclusively to each other. So, you know, I want to know if we sign Tel, can he play in the Europa League? Guys, that's one for you. Big up. Cargo, what's going on, my friend? Morning chat. Big up, Sal. Has Dorgu arrived at the club? Yeah, he'll be arriving today, Cargo. He'll be doing his medical and signing the papers on Sunday. So everything should be set up by Sunday. He will be unveiled to the Manchester United fans before the Crystal Palace game. He can't play because obviously he needed to sign yesterday, Friday night, but he can't play. But he will be unveiled to the Manchester United fans before the Crystal Palace game on Sunday, guys. Courtney, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sal, you legend. Hope you're always well. Keep up the great work, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, Courtney. Really good to see you here. And thank you very much, my friend. And you know what? I really appreciate your support. Really means a lot. This Saturday morning, guys, it is early in England, of course, at 6 a.m. in England, isn't it? And around the world, it's a bit early. But you know, it is 10 a.m. for me. I started today. But thank you so much, Courtney, for your support. As usual, absolute legend, of course. We need to take advantage of Spursy in the difficult time. We do. Rasta, you're absolutely right. We do, because you know what? We can't let Spurs off the hook. You know, we can't look at Spurs and think, you know what, a mental barrier that we have at the moment, because we haven't had some good results against Spurs. We almost beat them, you know what I mean? In the League Cup, of course, we shouldn't have lost. We made a number of mistakes, conceded 4 goals, and we shouldn't have conceded 4, ended 4-3. Man United really and truly should have won that game, in my opinion, of course. But you know what, we do have Spurs, and I feel that Spurs are beatable. We need to be looking at beating these teams. I know we can draw. But you know what? We need to be looking at beating these teams now. You know what I mean? Like against Liverpool, it was a great result. 2-2, good result. But I feel like Man United, if that little bit of quality, Man United could have won that game. And you know what? I look at that game and I feel like how far have we developed over the last few months under Ruben Amorim? Because you look at Liverpool in other seasons, we would have got smashed up. Now we're going toe to toe with them. We're going toe to toe with Arsenal with 10 men, with the referee against us, do you know what I mean? And end up winning on penalties. That is how I look at things. And I believe that Man United are getting better. I do. And I think by next season, you will see a different animal. And I think Man United will be ready. When you look at Ruben Amorim, you look at him dead in the eye. Does he look like a guy who's messing about? Does he look like a guy who's here to play games? He doesn't, does he, at the end of the day? Big up, Rasta. Rasta, and no new manager bounce for Everton. Absolutely not. Who have Everton appointed, Rasta? I'm not too sure who Everton have appointed. I've not looked. Oh yeah, David Moyes. David Moyes is the Everton manager, of course. And you know what? The thing with David Moyes, right? And David Moyes does it every single time when he plays Manchester United. He ups his game. Look, he's done well so far. He's done well since he's coming back at Everton, but that is obviously a new manager bounce, But we need to be ready for that because David Moyes is going to play David Moyes football and he's going to be wanting to get one over Manchester United because of the way he was treated at Manchester United. Look, he was never the right guy to come in at Manchester United. Never the right guy. We all knew he wasn't the right guy. Ciao, what's going on? What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. What's up, everyone? Do we still have a chance to a loan Tel before the next Monday? We still have a chance, Ciao. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that we have a chance. The door is ajar. So Man United do have a chance. He has not agreed to deal with Tottenham yet, although Tottenham are in the driving seat when it comes to signing him because they've gone further in regards to negotiations. Man United haven't even started negotiations. So we have to get in there first. He is waiting for Manchester United, but it's up to Manchester United to make the move for Tel if we're going to make the move for him. Because you know what? Time is running out. Time is of an essence. Monday is the time. We've basically got one day because Saturday and Sunday are literally void in the transfer window. Saturday and Sunday are non-business days. So, but it does happen. People do work on Saturdays and Sundays these days. But Monday is the day that Man United, I hope, fingers crossed, will make some last-minute deals. I mean, I didn't want it to drag out to the last minute. It shouldn't have been like that. We should have got these deals done a long time ago. But you know what? If Man United sign one deal, it's one more than I expected us to get. Because at some point during this window, I thought, you know what? Are we actually going to sign anyone? I was like that. Do you know what I mean? Madness. Big up, John O'Connell. What's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Thank you so much for joining me, John. I hope you're good this Saturday morning. Love this Saturday morning vibe. Good morning, Sal. Do you see United signing Tel? I believe United will clear those injury players out one by one. We'll need standard players. Oggerson, you're absolutely right, bro, man. You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, look, we need to clear out. We got a luggage. We got excess baggage, should I say, in regards to some of these injured players that are at football club. And we got these players, Lindelof, Mount, Shaw, these players, Casemiro, that need to leave the football club. Rashford, these players are just simply not good enough for Manchester United. Johnny Evans will be leaving. Contractually, he'll be leaving. Lindelof will be leaving in the summer as well. So that's two out. Luke Shaw and obviously Mason Mount and Rashford and Casemiro are going to be far more difficult to offload because of their contract. I mean, I cannot fathom how we managed to give Luke Shaw a new contract. It doesn't make sense to me. It's absolutely disgraceful. Those people should have been sacked on the spot for giving him a contract, for goodness sake. How can you imagine giving a cropped player long-term contract? It just doesn't make sense. It's like we're throwing money at these players because you know what? They're good lads, aren't they? They're good lads. That's what we're looking for at the end of the day. Now, a little bit of extra news about Giovanni Quenda. Giovanni Quenda has said to be enticed. His head has turned in regards to Manchester United and is keen to reunite with Ruben Amorim. Now, Giovanni Quenda, of course, could play as a right wing back for Manchester United. Would be absolutely fantastic to have him at the football club, a natural side there. He is very versatile, of course, can play left, can play midfield as well. So he is ideal for Ruben Amorim's system, as well as knowing Ruben Amorim very, very well. He was slot into that position very well. Now, the whole point of Ruben Amorim's system is that getting the wing-backs right. If Ruben Amorim could get the wing-backs right, we've got Dorgu, fantastic. Now we need one more to actually fit the system to a T. Now, Diego Dalot is doing very well on that, playing that system. He's doing his best. But it is believed that Ruben Amorim wants to bring in extra players on that side to perfect the wing-back system. Because once you perfect the wing-back system, the whole balance of the side will be much better. And it will help the whole team, including the attack. Man United still need a striker, of course. But Rashford, is not leaving. So, and Rashford is not playing. So that is a bit of a problem. Marcus Rashford might be staying at Man United for the foreseeable. And that is a bit of an issue that we're having. So offloading Rashford's wages, £320,000 pounds a week is going to be difficult, because no one wants to pay that money for a player that's underperforming. And let's face it, has problems off the pitch, lots of problems off the pitch. And Ruben Amorim has said that also, that he's got too many problems. And Ruben Amorim's not going to say what the problems are. I know what the problems are. I know everything about Marcus Rashford, but it is pretty obvious that there are big fundamental problems going on with Marcus Rashford's life at the moment. And nobody wants to take that. Nobody wants to take that. He waited on AC Milan. He's waited too long in AC Milan. He's not going to Dortmund. Doesn't want to go to Galatasaray in Turkey. He just wants Barcelona. Now, when you think about Barcelona, they got Lamine Yamal, they got Pedri, they got Rafinha. Where is he going to fit into that side anyway? What is he thinking? Is he delusional at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Who are they going to leave out? He'll be on the bench. It's as simple as that. So Barcelona don't look like doing a deal anyway. They feel that ship has sailed. With FFP reasons, they need to offload a couple or more players before they can think about doing that deal, etc. John, Aston Villa for Rashford, how far has he fallen? You know what, Aston Villa, fair play to Aston Villa. At the end of the day, they're doing better than I expected to do. I mean, they're giving me flashbacks of the 90s when Aston Villa were pretty good in the early 90s. Of course, they challenged us for the first league title way back in 1992, 93, of course. So, you know what, I remember Aston Villa fondly. I remember Paul McGrath, Dwight York and Andy Townsend and Ugo Ekiog and, Taylor and Mark Bosnich, of course. He followed me on Twitter, by the way, Mark Bosnich last week. Ex-Man United goalkeeper, twice Man United goalkeeper, of course. Big up Mark Bosnich, of course. Hopefully I'll get him on the show pretty soon, guys. Absolutely. It will be a great move for Marcus Rashford to sign for Aston Villa. I think that if he stays, I don't want him to stay in the Premier League, but it will be good. He'll be playing in the Champions League at the end of the day. He'll be playing, if he goes to Aston Villa, it's Champions League football for him. So just go for it and reignite your career. You've got the World Cup coming up in just over a year. And you know what? We might as well just play and get yourself some goals. And you know what? You're fitting like a knife and butter. You know what I mean? Well, a knife doesn't fit in butter, but you know what? It cuts butter, doesn't it? At the end of the day, but you're fitting like a hand in a glove. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I feel like he should do that. Absolutely. Move on, Marcus. Move on. We need to move on, of course. Ciao. I still don't believe that Jim and Joel Glazers are still involved in every single day. Yeah, Joel Glazer especially, Charles. Joel Glazer is very, very fond of the football club. He's the one who was digging his heels in to fall south. He's one of the main ones he was the main one who was saying, I don't want to sell to Qatar. I want to stay at Man United. He was the one because he actually likes Man United more than all the Glazers. He was the one who was involved in the Eric Ten Hag meeting between them about Eric Ten Hag being sacked. He was part of the negotiations about that. He's still heavily involved and he signs the checks. And this is a problem that we have. It's Glazers out every single day. Whilst the Glazers are still at this football club, we're still at a disadvantage. We still have this big black cloud hovering over us, and we need the Glazers to be out of this football club because I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them. You're tired of them. And you know what? It'd be a heaven sent if one day they leave the football club at the end of the day. But part of me feels like they're never going to leave the football club. And what they're doing is they're stripping down assets at Manchester United, selling players, buying players, selling players, buying land. They're going to build a new stadium, build hotels, build apartments. And Ineos only in line to make a lot of money, up to 10 billion. They look in line to be making. So this is why they felt like with Jim Ratcliffe facilitating the Glazers, the Glazers are in line to make a lot more money over a longer period of years. Whereas if they accepted 6 billion for Qatar, the Qatar offer, 4 billion, Qatar were going to put 2 billion on the infrastructure. If they were going to accept 6 billion from Qatar, then you know what? They weren't in line to make a longer, 6 billion for goodness sake. It makes me laugh that, it's not enough for them. But yeah, they're in line to make 10 billion over the period of years, even more than that. Sad, isn't it? It's sad. Conrad, Sal, can't say Man United terminate. No, it's contractually you can't terminate someone's contract in football. Football is the only occupation in the world where if you commit gross misconduct, you are the one who wins because you cannot sack someone in football. At the end of the day, if you sack Marcus Rashford or terminate his contract, so to speak, you have to pay his contract off. That is how football works. Unless there's a stipulation in the contract, He has to. We're going to be paying 350,000 a week over the period of another 3 years. So Man United will have to pay millions to Marcus Rashford. It's really ridiculous. These things need to change in football. Of course, when players hold the power in football, it becomes detrimental to their performances on the pitch. Now, look, when I was growing up and I was watching football, players were on a lot of money, but you're talking about 30, 40 grand a week, the top earners back then. And you know what? They were rich, but they weren't necessarily as rich as now. Goodness no. But what it was is that, they fought for the badge and they'll break their leg for that football team. Nowadays, it's like, I'm rich at 17. They're rich at 17. What happens is when a 17-year-old comes to the club, for example, if a Giovanni Quenda comes to the club, he will get a signing-on fee of about $1 million before he's even kicked a football. That's what happens. Added to that, he'll get his sponsorship deals. Added to that, he'll get his contract. Added to that, if he gets 350 grand a week, he'll get a goal bonus, an appearance bonus, an international caps bonus. He'll get, things like that, assist bonus. And you end up earning $1 million a week. And this is the problem in football. This is the problem in football. They're rich too soon before they've actually achieved anything. And the club need to be protected against players who are continuously down tooling, continuously feigning injury, continuously neglecting the principles of the football club because they're so rich, they don't give a damn. I'm rich, go away, you leave me alone sort of mentality. This needs to change at football completely. And this, I don't know whether the government needs to get involved or something, but it has gone way out of hand. Now, the good thing, I hate to say it, but there is a good thing about Ineos. The good thing that Ineos are implementing, because they are penny pinchers any day, but this is a good thing, is that they are slowly reducing the wages that we're offering players. For example, Xerxes came in at 60 grand a week, which is not as much as what other players were getting. The tactic that Man United used before was the tactics that we throw money at players and we get players. We throw money at players and we get players when they should be attracted by the club and not the money. If you throw money at the player, he's not going to think about the club. He's just thinking about the money. We need to think about the history of Manchester United, those who understand the history of Man United. For example, when Alex Ferguson used to sign a player, Alex Ferguson, before he would even talk to the footballer about football, he would get to know the player. He would take him out for dinner and his family, and he would get to know everything about the player. He would encourage players to get married. That's what Alex Ferguson used to do. You say, right, you're not married. You've got a girlfriend. You go, yeah. You go, okay, get married. That's what Alex Ferguson used to do. Have you got a house? Are you staying there? Do you like the area? What area? Let me tell you what area you should be staying in and stuff like that. We need to do things like that again. We need to go back to the way we were because you know what? You're not only signing a player, you're signing a human being. You know what I mean? You could be the best player in the world and be a serial killer at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You need to sign players who love the football club, number one, who understand the football club, who are educated about the football club. That's why when I hear about the likes of Lenny Euro and people like that, you know what? I like the way they speak. I like the way they are, of course. Big up, Ashley. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, of course. Absolutely. Asif, yes, Sal, he can play Europa League because of the competition. Different. Brilliant, Asif. Thank you so much. Plus, Tel has played their appointments in the Champions League, are not part of the EPL. Thank you so much, Asif. Thank you for clarifying that, my friend. Yes, Tel can play in the Europa League then. Fantastic. Which means if Marcus Rashford signs for Aston Villa, that means he can play in the Champions League. You know what I mean? So great for him. He should do that. He should make that move. I would push him through the door myself. Absolutely, I would. Absolutely. For that today, Quenda is a serious talent, Premier League energy, in my opinion. Absolutely for activate. He's an absolute generational. And if Man United managed to get this deal done, I'm so excited about this player because I feel like he is the engine behind that Sporting Lisbon team. And I feel like I've been hearing that Ruben Amorim is obsessed with Quenda and wants Quenda in Man United. Because you know what? Ruben Amorim is the reason behind Quenda. He's the reason why Quenda is who he is. At the end of the day, he brought him through. He brought him to the club, and he's built him into the player he is. So, it's a bit like playing a management game. If you're playing a management game and you sign for another football club on the management game, and all the players that you built on the old football club, you want to bring them to that football. You want to, don't you? You want to carry on their progression. And I think that's what's going to happen with Ruben Amorim and Quenda. Not only Quenda, Ignacio, Diamande, these type of players are, what we are interested in as well. And don't be surprised if 2 or 3 Sporting Lisbon players come in the summer to Manchester United. we have to wait into the summer. Of course, the financial stipulations are better in the summer. Man United have more leeway to maneuver in the transfer market. Of course, we're talking like this because the way Ineos are doing their things, they're not interested in taking risks or anything like that. But you know what? We have more leeway to make a move in the transfer market in the summer. Hopefully, we do bring in one more player at least this window. Time is of an essence at the end of the day. You know what? We haven't got long to go, of course. Absolutely. Courtney. Sal, is it true that if we don't get Tel this January, he is willing to stay at Bayern, so we come back in the summer? Could be true, Courtney, but I have heard that Man United are after a number of attacking midfielders at the moment, not to mention Cunha. Of course, Man United are interested in Severe, Naipan, Manchester United are interested as well. So, you know what? Man United have a conveyor belt of players that they are interested in, so we can sign any one of about 20 attackers at the moment. It depends which one is on top of the list at the moment. Tel was looking like a loan deal. I don't believe Man United are interested in a permanent deal. This is the complications that is happening at Bayern Munich at the moment. So Tottenham are interested in an obligation, which means that they could sign Tel after the end of the season. Man United are not looking for that. Man United are looking for a loan deal without an obligation. So Man United have not made the move because they know what Bayern Munich want, but Man United do want him on loan. So if Tel doesn't sign for Tottenham, it looks like he's not going to sign for Tottenham. Good, fair play to him. Bayern might be pressured into putting him on loan at Manchester United, and that'd be good for Man United. I don't believe, unless he sets the world alight at Man United in this next few months, I don't believe Man United will be going after him as a permanent deal. I believe Man United will be going after another attacker. But if he comes into Man United on loan and he performs for Man United, then we have no choice but to sign him, because you know what? What's the point of looking around for another player if this player is already killing it at Man United? You know what I mean? So I want Tel. I really do. I think he's a fantastic prospect. I'm not going to paint him with a brush that, we have fouled at Bayern Munich, so we shouldn't sign him. I mean, everyone is different. At the end of the day, everyone's journey is different. I could pick up David Beckham at 20, was on loan at Preston North End. You've got players like Eric Cantona, who was in the Bliss at 20 years old. So, you know what? You've got to look at players differently. And, I think there's no better manager to develop someone like Tel than Ruben Amorim, of course. Absolutely. Big up, Anthony. What's going on, my friend? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining the stream, you legend. Thank you very much, my friend. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Sal. Amorim is a ruthless coach who doesn't celebrate one goal, but he wants more goals. Absolutely, Conrad. He's a smiling assassin. You know what? I quote that. I trademarked that because I said it when he signed for Man United. The smiling assassin. And he doesn't just take one goal. Have you noticed when Man United score? Have you noticed how he doesn't overreact? He doesn't jump up and down. He doesn't sprint down the touchline, jumping onto the players. He doesn't do that. He's very, very, very controlled. He knows what we want. He knows we're not there. And over the past, we have overreacted with results. We have, overreacted when we win a game, when we score a goal, But you can't blame us in a way because we've been starved of, goals and pretty football for a long time now. Even when Alex Ferguson was part of Man United 2012, 2013, we won the Premier League title, but we were playing poor football. But Robin van Persie bowed us out, of that league title, and we won the league title at a counter at the end. But we weren't playing pretty football. Man United haven't played pretty football since the days of Rooney and Ronaldo, and we need to start getting back to our identity, who we were. Do you remember when we used to play fantastic football? It was exciting to watch Man United. Look, I remember 2008 when Ronaldo was at his peak and we had Tevez and we had Rooney, and Scholes and Giggs and, Hargreaves. And I remember those days and Carrick. And it used to be exciting to watch Man United. I was excited to watch Man United. And, nowadays we're not excited. We're like, just hope we get a goal. It's like that, isn't it? I hope we score. If we score, we can hold on to it. And I don't want us to that. I want us to say, we're going to win 4 or 5 today. We're going to smash them up today and say it confidently, not say it like reluctantly, like deep in your head, you're thinking, actually, we're not, I'm just being overly zealous. And stuff like that. But in regards to going off subject, in regards to Ruben Amorim, absolutely, Ruben Amorim is ruthless Amorim. That is what he is, ruthless Amorim. And to be honest with you, I'm happy with Ruben Amorim. I'm happy the way he's conducting himself. I'm happy the way he speaks. I'm happy he speaks like one of us. And that's what is good about Ruben Amorim. He speaks like one of us. He's got the mentality of one of us. When he's in a press conference, he speaks like I would speak to the press conference. You know what I mean? What can I do about Rashford? Rashford doesn't want to train. Rashford, I don't really care about one club. And what I would say to Ruben Amorim is say that we are Manchester United. We're not one player, Marcus Rashford United. We are Manchester United, and we go by the Busby Babes. We go by the Munich disaster. People sacrifice themselves for this football club. We go by 1968. We go by our relegation in 1974 even, and then, we go by Sir Alex Ferguson. That's what we go by, not by what Marcus Rashford wants to sport little brat. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But Marcus Rashford is not the only problem at Manchester United. It also, as I've been speaking, of course, it is also Luke Shaw. It's a big issue at Man United. He's a big issue as well. I mean, he needs to leave as well. Asif, Sal has said no. Tottenham, even after David travelled to Munich personally, Spurs is not Taylor race. Fabrizio cleared it for 6 hours. Tel wants to come to Manchester United, Asif. Tel wants to come to Man United. I won't be surprised if it's a Man United fan. Tel wants to come to Man United. There are rumours about him being, enticed by Man United's project in regards to Ruben Amorim. I mean, who would you want to play under? Asif, who would you want to play under? Postecoglou or Ruben Amorim? I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? You want to play under Ruben Amorim. Postecoglou comes across as a bit of a unlikable character at times. So I would want to play under Ruben Amorim. If I look at my career, I'm thinking, you know what? Ruben Amorim is tactically more astute. I've heard at Tottenham they don't do defensive drills. They don't do training on defensive duties. They don't do it. I've heard things like that. They just concentrate on attacking drills. Man, Sir Alex Ferguson, the great man himself, said, attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. So for me, the fact that Postecoglou doesn't concentrate on defensive duels when obviously his biggest problem at the moment is defensively, it beggars belief, to be honest with you, at the end of the day. It does beg a belief. Madness. Anthony, if we cover his wages, a loan with an option to buy, he will be ours for 6 months. Man United don't want to do an obligation to buy at the moment. Man United have sacrificed into buying other players, Anthony. Including Gutierrez and Svir Naipan. Man United are very interested in those. They're more exciting players. I like Tel. I think he can be developed, but Man United want him on loan, and this is the problem that we're going to be facing going forward. If Tel doesn't sign for Tottenham, Bayern Munich may be pressured into getting a loan to Man United, but Bayern Munich are looking for an obligation to buy, and I don't think Man United want to do that obligation to buy at the moment. They don't want to take the risk. Fair enough. Man United don't have much money, so they don't want to take a risk on Tel. If we have to do an obligation to buy, because if he comes to Man United, and look, we have to look at things realistically. We have to look at things subjectively. That he comes to Man United, there's no guarantee he's going to succeed. Right? I hope he succeeds. He has the talent to succeed, but there is a possibility that he won't succeed. So if he doesn't succeed, if we got him on loan, at least he can just leave for nothing, and we don't have to worry about that. But if we got an obligation at the end of the season, then the obligation means you have to buy him, by the way. When you say obligation, it means you have to buy him. You cannot pull out of the deal. Like a bit like Sancho has to sign for Chelsea now, because Chelsea are going to come in the top 10. It was below 14th. If Chelsea finished below 14th, he can go for free back to Man United. But now Chelsea have to pay 25 billion for Jadon Sancho. And that I bet you any money right now, guys, if Chelsea had the choice to give Sancho back to Man United, they would snap your hand off. I'm hearing people in Chelsea right now saying that they would snap your hand off if they had the possibility to give Sancho back to Man United. They don't want to sign him. I'm hearing this. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we don't want to be in that position when it comes to Mathys Tel. Absolutely not. Big up, Anthony, by the way. Thank you so much, you legend. Thank you for joining me today, of course. It's Raymond. What's going on, my friend? Will Quenda Amorim will tear it up. Absolutely, Raymond. Quenda is the absolutely essential for me. I think he will just fit into that system like a to a T. Easier to say it, to a T. Absolutely, he'll fit into that system perfectly. I want Giovanni Quenda. I think he's an absolute generational. He's a beast at his young age of 17. And I think, you know what? Bring him to the football club. It looks likely that Man United will do the deal. Of course, I broke the deal. I broke the deal, not Ornstein. I said it day before yesterday. Ornstein said it yesterday. I said it day before yesterday that we're going to raid Sporting Lisbon. Look at the videos. You know what? I won't get the credit because my name's not Ornstein. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I knew that we're gonna be making a big offer for Quenda The fee will be in the region of 30 to 50 sort of million euros with incentives, which might reach to 60, but this will be in the summer. This won't be now. And don't be surprised, it's God sent that Man United will make a move for Sporting Lisbon players. And I want 2 players from Sporting Lisbon. One is Ignacio and one is Diomande. No, one is Quenda. The third one, if we are lucky, will be a bonus, will be Diomande. That's what I want as well. I think those are all brilliant players. Absolutely. And Giovanni Gutierrez as well. My 4 players altogether. Absolutely. Anthony, how good is Quenda? Isn't he like another Anthony? No. Quenda is not like Anthony. Anthony is not like Anthony. No, he's a completely different player. An athlete. He bombs up and down that pitch. He can play wing back. He can play midfield. He can play left wing back, right wing back, defender, right midfield, left midfield. He can play all over the pitch. He's an absolute warrior. And the fact of the matter is he's 17 as well. Anthony's more like, the thing with Anthony, and I will say this very, very in the politest way possible about Anthony. Anthony was never a 90 million pound player, but that's not his fault. He's a 30 million pound player, 30 grand a week. We paid 90 million, 200 grand a week. Ridiculous. That was Murto and Woodward, of course. And to be honest with you, Anthony hasn't got a ceiling. You know, he came to the football club, spin-a-rooney, cut and shoot. He's very predictable in his play. The flowers that I would give Anthony is that he works his socks off, he plays for the badge, and that is fantastic. But I do believe Quenda's a different player, completely different player, and his ceiling is higher. It's imperative that Man United get that deal done. I really do. I feel like Man United's future is bright. I mean, I'm looking at Obi Martin at the moment, I'm looking at Kukunki at the moment, as well as Lasari. At the moment, I'm looking at Dorgu, who's only 20, and I'm looking at Man United right now, and I'm thinking, wow, we got a great future ahead of us, guys. We really have, and we have to be excited about it, and be cautiously optimistic, of course, absolutely. Darkro, what's going on, my friend? Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you on the stream. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Asif, Amorim is a big admirer of Quenda and Gutierrez. It's a matter of time. Quenda will sign for United in the summer window. Absolutely, Asif. I'm literally 80% sure that Man United will get Quenda. I'm about 70% sure that Man United will get Quenda and Gutierrez. There is a gentleman's agreement with Gutierrez. How much you put into that gentleman's agreement, how reliable is a gentleman's agreement is another story completely. But I tend to be of the belief that Gutierrez and Ruben Amorim are very close. What did Gutierrez do for What did Ruben Amorim do for Gutierrez? Ruben Amorim took Gutierrez from a Brighton reject, Coventry City, and took him to Sporting Lisbon and made him into the player he was, to be one of the most prolific strikers in Europe. He's brought Quenda into football in Europe, and he's made Quenda into the most highly prospect wingbacks players in general in Europe. And we need to make that move, absolutely. And I believe that they will sign, absolutely. There's going to be an exciting summer. I do believe. I know this window right now is a little bit, funny. It's mad, as Ben Jacobs said on my show the other day. It is a mad window. It's mad at the moment, and there is a circus of roundabout of players going in and going out, and the stipulations between players going in and going out, and transfers on the basis that player leaves and that player comes. It's ridiculous. Asif, the idea given by Sheikh Jassim of developing the entire United vicinity now Ineos seem to work on the same model. Look at Rat's niece, Rotten. Rat's niece, you know what? At the end of the day, I wouldn't trust Jim Ratcliffe with a football team. You're absolutely right, Asif. This model has been put in place by, I believe that it was the Qatar model that they wanted to build Man United into a younger, fresher dynasty that can go on for many, many years. And I do believe that it is the person I'm hearing who has implemented this idea is Omar Barada, not Jim Ratcliffe. Nothing to do with Jim Ratcliffe. It's Omar Barada. He said that Man United need to build for the future, and Man United need younger players, of course. Pios, what's going on, my friend? Performance base should be introduced. Absolutely, Pios. Absolutely. And appearance-based as well. Appearance-based as well. That's what we should do in football. We need to have that. It's God sent. We need to do that. We need to have this implemented because the football clubs are of a disadvantage at the moment. Okerson, this is the time Rashford would enjoy his football under Amorim, but I'm disappointed with his attitude. Ahmed is one good as other. Look, you know what? I cannot fathom how anyone is supporting Rashford. Absolutely spot on, Okerson. You know what? The problem is, this is what happened, guys. Ruben Amorim, when he came to the football club, Him and Rashford got on. It was fine, right? It was fine. Then Rashford started to having personal problems. Rashford was sent home with stomach cramps because of substance abuse and things like that, right? But what went over the top? What went over the top is that Ruben Amorim spoke to Marcus Rashford, and Marcus Rashford blanked him in training. He ignored him. This is the issue that Ruben Amorim have. Now, you put yourself in a realistic scenario here. If this player is causing toxicity and this player don't like you, and let's face it, Rashford doesn't like many people. He only loves himself and his brother, who's his agent. You know, if people, you know, at the end of the day, if someone doesn't like you and you're a new manager and you're coming into the team and you're trying to change the philosophy of the team, you know, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Kiss his backside? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't. At the end of the day, he's not my player. Ruben Amorim's have got a lot of pride. He's a very successful manager at Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon went 20 years without winning a Portuguese title before Ruben Amorim came in there. You know what I mean? And won them the league at a counter, and they were unbeaten in Europe. They beat Man City this season 4-1 in Europe. You know what I mean? Under Ruben Amorim. And then Ruben Amorim left a very successful side to come to Manchester United because it's Manchester United. And you know what? He doesn't need little sport brats like Marcus Rashford, you know, I mean, upsetting the apple cart at the end of the day. Asif, I'm sure Jim the Rat's still not believing in his own but the part. Absolutely. That's a big up, Asif, by the way. Big up. Hope you join me. Big up tomorrow for the game. The players I want to see playing for us are Cole Palmer and Lifelink. Yeah, I want to see that as well, Charles. I mean, the only player I want from Chelsea is Cole Palmer. You know, Cole Palmer is the only player I want. Of course, you saw him in the European Championships for England, scoring the final against Spain. You remember that? Fantastic player. Man United fan. I don't know why Man United didn't have their ear to the ground and sign him in the past, you know, letting him go to Chelsea. Of course, he did play for Manchester City. Maybe that is a reason behind that, you know. But Cole Palmer is a player that is a generational, and I think Man United would be great and better off if they had Palmer. But you know what? Palmer's going to cost an arm and a leg, over 100 million. And I don't think Chelsea will do the deal with Manchester United, even if we had the money, of course. Lumen. So is there any manager left in today's football who would still does Alex so no, Lumen. Alex Ferguson, right? You look at Pep Guardiola and you look at managers like that. Look at Pep Guardiola as soon as he has a bit of adversity. He can't hack it. He can't take it. Sir Alex Ferguson will get a bunch of youth players from the youth team and win trophies. That is Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson, no matter who you are, he can win a league title with them. He just got the best out of players. You know, he was just a genius. He knew when to make changes at the right time. You know, it's just something about him. It was just like, you know, he created Cristiano Ronaldo. He created David Beckham. He created Paul Scholes. He created Eric Cantona. He made these players into these magnificent, huge players. Because there's the small details about it, you know, about Alex Ferguson. And Alex Ferguson wasn't to be messed with. Alex Ferguson, when he walked into Manchester United, Man United were 20 odd years, 26, well, when at the time, I think, I'm not sure, about 20 years without a title. Yeah. And he got rid of fan favourites. Even though the players were fan favourites, he got rid of them. Man United had a drinking culture in the late 80s where they would go out after games and eat chips and drink alcohol. That's what they used to do. And he got rid of that. Famously, Ryan Giggs, who Alex Ferguson brought through Man United and become Man United's most successful player in history, Ryan Giggs. When he first signed for Man United, Lee Sharp and Ryan Giggs went out, right? When Ryan Giggs first broke through Man United's youth system and into the first team, Alex Ferguson brought him into the first team. They went out partying. Alex Ferguson warned about players partying before games. And what happened? Alex Ferguson went to Ryan Giggs' house, knocked on his door, removed all those women from that house, and said, right, you, see me in the morning in my office. That's what Alex Ferguson used to do. That's what he used to do. He used to phone the parents. He used to do that. That is what Alex Ferguson was. People say, oh, you can't do that nowadays. Why not? Why can't you do that? This is the problem in today's society. At the end of the day, Man United and Ryan Giggs ended up being the most successful players in history. Lee Sharp dropped off. He couldn't do it. He couldn't hack it. He dropped off and he went into the bliss. He ended up going to Sampdoria in Italy. Then he went somewhere else. And then he went to, Leeds. And then, he just faded away, and that is it. Survival of the fittest at the end of the day. That is what it's all about, of course. Absolutely. Bayern has cleared. If Tel wants it, he can. Tel has to decide what he wants to do. Tel wants Man United. That's if I hope so anyway. Big up, Mandem. How you doing, my friend? Stream a bit earlier. The Normandy says 6:42. Yeah, absolutely. Earlier today, Mandem, I had to go out today, so sorry about the earliness. Thank you so much, though, Mandem, for joining me today. You legend. Big up yourself. Asif, you never know at Ineos, they go Amrabat and then they wanted to stay. Even if Tel comes on loan and moves and it does good, there is no guarantee. Absolutely, Asif. Good point. Very, very good point. Absolutely. Can't guarantee anything, of course. Absolutely. The best thing I wanted to hear is Garnacho staying. Amorim praised his efforts. He's a big part of Garnacho staying. He is the one who has pressured Garnacho. He's the one who has pressured Ineos into keeping Garnacho. Now, when you look at Garnacho, 3 assists in January, his price has suddenly gone like that, hasn't it? You know what I mean? And we predicted that and we said that, didn't we? We know that Garnacho's got a ceiling. We know that Garnacho is a good player. You know, maybe it's about time they started listening. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up. I'm over the moon as well. Big up, Courtney. Thank you, everyone. I'm with you, brother. Absolutely. Big up, Courtney. Big up, Asif. Big up, everyone in the chat, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Sorry about the earlier show today. I've got a busy day, guys, full of meetings and stuff like that. But I want to thank everyone who's joined me today. And you know what? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Really appreciate every single one of you guys. Guys, look, you know what? This channel, I'm on the way to 10,000 subscribers. I'm touching 7,000 subscribers at the moment. Let's keep it moving. I've got great projects coming up for the channel. I had Ben Jacobs on the show, of course, just the day before yesterday. That is just the beginning of what we plan for this channel. We got big plans for this channel. We got big guests coming on this channel, and I want you all to be a part of it. Don't forget to spread the word about Stretford Post, and don't forget to subscribe, please, and like the videos. Drop comments, and put your notifications on. Guys, clip the video, clip Stretford Post, whatever you want to do. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Absolutely. Good morning. Let me say, big up Noah. What's going on? Good morning, you legend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Really good to see you. Good morning. Big up Celestine. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. A great stream. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you very much. You're a legend, my friend. You're a legend. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you, guys. I'm Sal Walnut. This is Breaking Dawn. I might see you later on. Keep your notifications on, guys, for Chatterbox. Guys, take it easy. Have a great day. And have a great Saturday. Enjoy the football. Man United are not playing, so we don't need to stress, do we? Enjoy it. Take it easy, guys. Peace.